Hi everyone, I'm Liam Eagle. I'm the editor here at the WHIR. We're actually in our offices in Toronto right now, but in just a minute, we're going to, through the magic of editing, take you back to Denver, Colorado, from where we just returned, where we had another of our WHIR networking events. It was really cool. We had a great turnout, a great crowd, a lot of fun. There's a lot of big colo companies in Denver, a lot of big data center companies, so that was pretty neat to see and to sort of interact with. We actually went down to a lounge called Chloe, which is a little bit of a nightclub hip kind of spot. It's a little dark, so I actually took some of our sponsors outside and did a bit of a man on the street interview with them. They told us a bit about what's new with them, what projects they're working on, what they were hoping to communicate to some of the hosting providers who were there. So let's head over to the event now and check it out.
So as of April 10th, we officially released our AP Squared, which is our Availability Assurance Partner Program. And what it does is it essentially extends hosting service providers the ability to offer DDoS mitigation without, the pesky contractual agreement, and also at a very low cost relative to anything else that's being provided. We've also been noticing recently that a lot of companies or hosting service providers are really experiencing a lot of high packet per second TCP floods, and this really kind of helps ease them into the world of DDoS protection.
It's actually one of the easiest things you could possibly resell. I mean, you want to complete the business bundle. All you got to do is give us a call. We'll set you up with a link basically that you put on your site, and you have a couple of fields on there. And once the customer enters their first name, last name, email address, and phone number, we take it all from there. Our sales team will walk them through the sales process. We'll talk them through their rates, any questions that they have, walk them through the underwriting process, take care of their PCI questions, make sure they're PCI compliant. And at the end of the day, we provide you back with a report that shows how much they've been processing and what your residuals are, and we'll handle the marketing too.
So the past year has really been about building out the ecosystem for APS, and I think we've made a lot of progress in that space. We have over 7 system integrators that are now learning or actively packaging APS packages, and over 100 applications have been packaged in APS. So the ecosystem is now self-sustaining. It's growing on its own. In fact, the vast majority, like 85 to 90% of the packages that have been built over the past year have been built by this ecosystem, by ISVs themselves or by system integrators. So the APSstandard.org is an open standard. Parallels and 101 founded the organization, and we have an open forum there where people participate in providing comments on the standard and contributing to the standard. Anybody can develop an APS package. In fact, there are different partners that are building their own controllers for APS. So you have people like 101 that can adopt APS packages and use their own technology to deploy APS, or also Strato uses their own controller for APS. So it's an open standard. All the documentation is available on that standard, and people can contribute in the forum to commenting and enhancing the standard.
So just as background, Arbor is the top vendor in the availability protection space, specifically DDoS detection and DDoS mitigation. And you're right, we are seeing a huge increase in business and demand from the hosting community. What's happening is that hosting companies are deploying more cloud and shared services, and any availability interruption in those services causes problems or revenue loss for either that company or their end customers. Arbor solution is both to protect the hosting company's own infrastructure, and also it can be offered as a managed service to their end customers. So we've seen our customers, all of them are protecting their own infrastructure, and many of them are beginning to offer DDoS as a managed service itself. And they can use Arbor solution to do that. And in fact, most DDoS mitigation managed services in the industry are using Arbor's appliances as the infrastructure for that service.
Right. Well, so first off, most processing companies are bank-owned or bank-related. Okay, so it's been a banking function for 30 years. Lydell comes at it with a much different approach. We were founded by a direct marketer. Tim Lydell was a cataloger in the 80s. We're littered with people that come from the direct marketing industry, so we understand what our merchants are trying to do, and it's different. It's not a finance function, really. What we bring to a different perspective, which is what can we do through payments and payment intelligence to help our merchants market smarter, use the credit card payment vehicle to understand their client better, and ultimately what it means is more sales, and it also means keeping customers on board longer by utilizing payment intelligence. That's the high level of what we do that's different.
I wouldn't say it's not on their radar. It's definitely on their radar. It is not the core competency, though. The core competency is to service their customers. Their customers won't typically ask for DNS. Their customers are going to want hosting services. They're going to want their domain name to be hosted. It's only when their site goes down that they're going to say, "Hey, my site's down. What's going on?" And they'll say, "Well, our DNS, we got hit with a DDoS attack." So if you only have a single provider, if you're providing DNS yourself, you're really at the mercy of the availability of your resources on hand. So if you partner with a provider like Affilius, you avoid single points of failure. You have a diverse Anycast network that you can tap into, so your customer's site never goes down, even in the event of a DDoS attack. Yeah, so we recently made a couple upgrades to our network within the past 6 weeks. We've added 2 new nodes, one in our Amsterdam location, one in our Washington, D.C. location. Each node represents a 12 times more capacity in our overall DNS infrastructure. So overall, in the past 6 weeks, we've added 24 times capacity than we've had before. So whereas our hosting partners, as well as our corporate clients and individual users, were enjoying our DNS at a short 100% uptime before, we've even added a more robust network for them to plug into.
Well, that about wraps it up for this video. I'd like to thank you very much for watching all the way to the end. Of course, we'd like to thank everyone who came out and made it a great night in Denver. We'd like to thank our sponsors, of course, for making it possible in the first place. May is a big month for us coming up. We're going to do our event here in Toronto in our home base. Then the very next week, we're heading right over to Europe. We're going to do Amsterdam, Berlin, Paris, London. If you have an RSVP for any of those events, if you're in any of those spots and you'd like to come out, we'd love to see you. So hopefully we'll see you there. Thank you very much.